Hey guys, welcome back to Vince Vale Custom. So today I'm sharing with you this massive Hulk kit, and I got it finished up earlier than expected. The reason why is I'm doing this for a friend of mine, and he's giving me a lot of large items, but the other items he gave me are piled in boxes, and this was laying on my floor because he gave it to me without any box. He just kind of drove over one day and he gave me all the pieces. So he said, you know what, just do the Hulk first before the other ones anyway. I still got to do all the projects anyway. But since this one was in the way, he just said do this one first. So rotation got changed a bit, but that's okay. Really great kit. I did a kit review on it. I mean, you can see the massiveness. Excuse me being all messy and stuff. I just got done working, but I just wanted to do this review. But you can just see his hand along with my hand. It's pretty big. Awesome kit. Sculpted by Troy McDivitt, and it's just awesome. If you're into Hulk and you like this, you know, big bulkiness type of a Hulk, then this is a really great kit to own. I'll be honest, I am not a fan of Hulk. I like a lot of oddball characters, but it's always fun to paint up different characters once in a while. Of course, I really dislike Iron Man. A lot of people know I dislike Iron Man, but I like the idea that the helmet is getting crushed by Hulk, so that's okay with me. But you know, other than that, the kit was really well casted. Some, you know, typical flashing here and there. Probably the hardest part of putting him together would probably be the torso, because he was separated here. I think what it was is I had to do a couple pegs, a lot of A's work, a lot of glue. I let it sit, let that cure overnight, and then the next day I seamed it all up with some more A's and really secured it. That was pretty much the hardest part of putting it together. I mean, there was a little bit of a gap when you do the head, but that was fairly easy. The only downside of the whole kit, now this is a pretty stupid downside, is that when you lift them out of the base, if you don't attach them, because this is not attached, I actually have a magnet in each foot and a big metal rod underneath each part, so he kind of clicks in and out, is that when you pop them out of the base, bottom of his feet areas get kind of nicked up because of the way it's like, it's not a perfect key going in and out. There's a lot of like jagged edges. But that's not a real big issue, because once he's in, you don't see those things. But it's just something stupid. There's some people in the hobby that might not like that, but for something like this, you can't get around it. But anyway, like I say, once he's in the base, you don't see it. It's not a big deal. Because I always tell people, we can't get those type of paints that they have in China for statues, because those paints are probably lead-based, even though they say they're not, but they probably are, because that stuff is really, really strong paint. But I'm using acrylics and stuff, so you can't really go with it. Even if I use the enamels out of the can, going in out of the base doesn't get scraped up. But anyway, other than that, it was fun to paint up. I did a little bit different work on paint. I followed what my friend wanted. We'll get in a little bit closer, and I'll show you everything that's going on. Alright, so we'll start off with the face. As you can see, I really wanted to bring out the teeth a little bit. And I did a lot of like white blending with a little bit of green shade, a little bit of Payne's gray shading in the back areas here, with keeping it light up here. And then eyes, he likes white eyes on the Hulk. He doesn't like pupils and stuff, so that's fine. Now, I went with green lips and green gums because I know some people like the red gums and the kind of like the reddish, pinkish lips, like he has like flesh. But the reason why I kind of went with this way, and the way my friend liked it, is because a lot of times in Hulk comic books, whenever he gets cut and bleeds, it's always like green. It's not red. So we kind of went with that route. And a lot of, you know, I guess certain artists might draw it with the pink lips or color it, but I don't know. Just the route we went on this one. The hair is just your basic black. It's got some green shades in it. You really can't see it too much unless it's in person. Now, as far as the skin tone, just to give you guys an idea of the skin, there's a bunch of different greens. We got a light green, we got kind of a yellowish green, we got like kind of a bright green, we have a dark green. At no point though did I ever use any black shading. All the shading you see on him is a blue. It's like a blue mix in there, or it's a light blue. I didn't even use Payne's gray. It's just straight up a blue. So that's what I always tell people. If you're going to do a Hulk, don't do black, because black will just start muddying it up. Use a blue, use a brown, purples. You know, so there was one blue paint I have, which is kind of like almost a purplish blue, but when you mix it in with some greens and stuff, you get that dark green, but you don't get that potent black, and you never really want to go black, like full-on black with greens, because then it just becomes muddy. So there's a lot of different shades on him, and then Because this sculpt has a lot of veins, and it's a really lot of veins, I try to bring out the veins a little bit more. Now, I didn't want to go too crazy with the veins. I didn't want to make it look, you know, like they were just like glowing or anything. I wanted to keep it subtle, so what I did is I did some lightish yellowish green all on the veins, and then I dulled it back down with some green. So I don't know how it's really showing in the camera, but you can see there's a lot of different shades on him. You know, you can see it in with the feet. There is some little bit of dry brushing. There's some washes. You know, I try to bring out a lot of the detail because this sculpt has tons and tons of detail. You can see the veins. You can see the muscular stuff. You see all around. So I wanted to bring it out as much as I could. And then, of course, little things here like the fingernails. I made them a little bit shiny, but I gave them, you know, that rough look, like they're kind of split in and they're just kind of like Hulkish. Same thing with the toenails. You know, you can see, just making them look just messy. So, and then on for the pants, you know, of course, he wears the purple pants. Now, the pants, I really didn't I did airbrush it, but I did a lot of dry brushing because there's so much detail on these pants. There's a lot of little hatch marks, a lot of crevices, wrinkles, rips and tears. So I really wanted to bring out all that detail, and you can't really do it with the airbrush that well. And this actually called for more of a dry brush thing. So what I did is a lot of dry brushing on him. I was in the garage. I mean, I had the legs masked off, I had the upper body masked off, and I just was purples. So I used a really dark purple first for a whole base coat. And then after that, I went in there and I did a lot of dry brushing. A lot of lights and darks, kept playing with it, dulling it down with the airbrush, and just running with it, just to bring out a lot of that. Because I really wanted the skin tone to kind of blend and be kind of clean, whereas the pants be kind of messy. So we got that kind of nice, good, smooth skin, and then the pants are really rough and messy. So it kind of like fits them pretty well. I don't know, that's kind of what I ran with on that. Onto the base. So the cool thing about doing this type of Iron Man head is you don't have to make it look perfect. You know, because if you do an Iron Man paint up, it's very hard to do Iron Man paint ups because you got to do all that yellow, and then you got to do that red, and it's got to look clean and crisp and look like metal. And any kind of mess ups, they just jump out. But with this type of item, you can mess up and it actually plays to the paint up, because this is what, you know, you can have happy mistakes. So, you know, basically I just did all the yellow first, then I started doing some detailing work with some, you know, some metallics and stuff. I kind of did the eyes a little bit. And then after that I masked it off and I did the red, but then I kind of dirtied all that up as well. I mean, there's times when I hit it with the airbrush and I licked my finger and I kind of just rubbed it off. There's other times where I had it on my finger and I rubbed it on. So it's just, you can kind of play with it and you can have fun. And, you know, like I say, mistakes on that work well. And that's what I ran with. And, of course, all the rocks, it's just, you know, just a typical rock street, breaking it all up. So, something like this, I want to focus this on being dirt, you know, because this is all dirt underneath the rocks. And then if this is the blacktop, you kind of run with it. Now, the blacktop has lots of different colors, a lot of washes. There's greens, there's some Payne's gray, there's some browns. So there's a lot of different colors on the street, I guess you could call it. So that worked out pretty cool. And it's pretty much a straightforward kit. I mean, it's just big and it's bulky. It's just very, very big. It's a big workout. It's not, you know, not something that you can just kind of put in one hand and just paint it away. But, I mean, there you go. That is the Hulk paint up by Troy McDivitt. I'm pretty sure these might be available. You could contact me through a PM. I'm pretty sure I could find the person who has them available. It's a really great kit. So hopefully you guys like the way it turned out. It was a lot of fun working on them. Like I say, I always like to do a change up every once in a while from normal characters. And this doing a Hulk once in a while is kind of fun because it's a skin tone of a green. It's not just skin tone of a, you know, of a real life person. It's you got, you know, when you do skin tones like of a green or a red or a pink, you know, it's kind of fun change up. So there you go. Hopefully you like the way it came out. Had a lot of fun, and thanks for watching. We'll be back with some more videos.